So I have a question for you. Have you ever asked AI for advice? I've been hearing about this more and more. Folks coming to ChatGPT, for example, or other AI tech for advice. Um, the truth is that AI can only regurgitate plagiarized material. That's all it really does. So if you're asking an LLM for advice, the quality of that advice will be quite low. It's so low as to make it completely unusable, in my personal opinion. Now, that's not a huge issue. Um, if you're asking about what you can make with the ingredients in your refrigerator, right? Or some other, rudimentary question. But some of us, I fear, are starting to reach out to these new LLM tools with questions that are much more ephemeral, spiritual, personal, and intimate in nature. Now, you may or may not know that nothing you share with these tools is protected information. So your data is absolutely theirs to use, to sell, and it may be used against you at some point in the future. But the larger issue for me is the quality of that advice which the LLM is providing. So a large language model basically gives you cliff notes of the self-help books that are gobbled up by these machines, and it kind of strings them together into something that may sound more or less okay, but will miss the essential element of humanity basically every time. Because a large language model has no humanity. It's really just a collection of words. It has no soul. It has no spirit to put things together that way. It's just using logic or computer logic to figure out, which words will go together and what will make sense. So when it gives you those answers, it makes it sound like you can ask it to sound like your buddy, your friend, your mom. You can ask it to sound like the Buddha, but it's not the same thing. So I'd like to offer another way that you may or may not have heard of. And this is just another tool that you can use for those questions, those deep questions, those queries which are personal, which are important to you, which might be pretty deep and which require answers that connect wisdom with poetry and intuition. That tool is the Akashic Records. Each and every one of us has their own precisely calibrated Akashic Records. And accessing those records is a matter of tuning in to the Akashic frequency, opening yourself up to receiving wisdom from alternative universes, your spirit guides, your loving ancestors, a variety of sources. And during an Akashic Records reading, you may receive wisdom that will resonate for days, for weeks, for months, or even years. And an LLM could never, darling.